Okay. I gotta mute this. There we go. All right. Yes, so let's go again. So welcome to Winning Wednesday. My name is Alethea, and this call is for teaching purposes only. I'm not a licensed trader, and so therefore I'm not responsible for your account. You are responsible for your account. So you're going to trade at your own risk. What I will say is that anybody that's tuning in that's new and just is following along with me, risk no more than 1% of your account. I'm going to show you how to set up a demo account so you can trade with some monopoly money, but we're going to treat that account like it's a real account. So no more than 1% for a new person, right? And yes, it seems I'm flying solo today, but it's okay. It's all right. We'll make it through. So I'm just gonna jump into it. You know, I'm doing binary options. That's the style of trading that I'm doing here. It's a time-based style of trading, right? So we're just doing analysis, and based on the analysis, we're going to make a determination. If we decide price is going to be going up, that means it's bullish, right? We hit that arrow pointing up. If we think price is going to go down, it's bearish. We're going to press that arrow pointing down, and we just need price to stay above or below that line, depending on what direction we want it to go in for the duration of the trade. And once we get that completed idea, it's an awesome party. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay, yeah, I'm in this trade. This is a different broker. That's not what we're gonna look at. All right, so there's a checklist, and I do this every time I'm going to trade using pocket option, and that's the broker I'm going to show you how to take and trade in. The checklist, I'm going to check Forex Factory because we need to check the fundamental analysis. What's the news, right? Then we need to see what's the currency strength. What's the currency strength? So we're looking at Finbis for that, or lifecharts.co.uk, and there are other sites that you can use. Then we're going to do the analysis, the technical analysis in TradingView, and we have different softwares that we have access to being in the academy. So there's that, and then we execute the trade in the broker. So let's start from the beginning. First things first, forexfactory.com. All right, so the date today is Wednesday, the 22nd of December, and it's 11 o'clock now, 11:10. All right, so there is nothing going on as of right now. The last news event was at 10:30. There was an orange folder, two orange folders on the US dollar at 10 a.m., a yellow folder at 10:30. But outside of that, there really is nothing. So what do these folders mean? Well, the folders represent the level of impact. The yellow folder is low impact, the orange folder, medium impact, and the red folder is high impact. So if you are going to trade, okay, say it was 11 o'clock, now we have a red folder. If it was on the Japanese yen, we see tentative. So at some point, the Japanese yen may go crazy. We don't know. But if it was a red folder on the Japanese yen for 11 o'clock right now, then definitely I would not be doing any trade of the yen. So whenever there's a red folder, whatever currency has that
to work when I'm
whatever folder has that news, we're not going to trade that currency, right? Orange folder, that's medium impact. So remember I said you do 1% per trade. Well, if it's an orange folder, I'm going to drop that down from 1% to half of a percentage. And for the yellow folder, typically I haven't really noticed an impact per se, so it really won't be a deterrent. There's one other folder, the gray folder, that's when there's a bank holiday. And actually, on Friday, it's going to be New Year's, Christmas Eve, sorry. So there's the gray folder there as the banks will be closed. So really and truly, guys, a lot of traders are not trading right now. They take a break the week of Christmas or like the days, these are the days leading up. It's Wednesday. So from now until up to New Year's, a lot of traders are not trading, right? But the market is still moving and there are trades that can be taken. It's just up to each individual to decide whether or not they want to trade. But okay, looking at this, we see there's nothing is off limits. We look at Forex Factory to decide what we're not going to trade. Right now, nothing is off limits. So the next thing that we're going to look at is finviz.com. But first, let me just copy and drop this forexfactory.com for anybody that needs it. All right, so next, finviz.com. Oh, this is looking great for my trade. All right, finviz.com. Let's copy and drop this here. Oh, and let me just say hi to Nisi. I was talking when you came in. I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you here. Nice to see your name here today. Welcome, David. Welcome, Barry. All right. So on finviz.com, it's showing you the volume of the market. So the currency to the far left has the most volume, is the strongest, and that's AUD, Australian dollar. The currency to the far right, Japanese yen, that is the weakest, right? So it goes from the strongest all the way to the left to the weakest all the way to the right. And so when I'm doing my analysis, I like to look for pairs that have the greatest divide. So definitely I'm going to look at AUD JPY. I'm actually in an AUD JPY trade right now. I don't even want to mess with this. I entered when it was red down here and I'm all the way up here. So I'm doing mighty fine right now. I've been using this new broker, NADEX. It's a US regulated broker. So with that, there can be no mess ups, no mishaps. You're definitely going to get paid out your money whenever you want it. Right. So I had to make that switch. But it's a little intense if you're accustomed to the different brokers, but now that I'm getting the hang of it, and I'm all right. All right. So yeah, looking at this, you know what, since I have the markups on here already and it's a totally different time frame. Let's see. Hold on. If it comes to if it comes to 265, I'll take another look at it. But for right now, let's look at something that's not messed up already. Let's look at AUD USD. So we're gonna analyze AUD USD for the buy. There are no sell ideas really to look at today. All right. AUD USD. There we go. So when the first currency is stronger than the second, as is the case with AUD USD, you want to look for bullish ideas or ideas for price to go to the upside, right? So the first currency is called the base currency. It's currency one. The second currency is called the quote currency. So when the base is stronger than the quote, we look for bullish ideas. We look for buys. We look for price to go up. On the flip side, when the base currency is weaker than the quote currency, we're going to be looking for um, bearish ideas. We're going to be looking for price to go down because a bullish idea is with a bullish candle, price is going up. A bearish idea, bearish candle, price starts up top, closes at the bottom, right? And there's nothing bearish for me to analyze at this time. Um, I guess I could look at USD CAD. All right, so I'll look at AUD USD and I will look at USD CAD. But I'm going to tell you right now, I typically do not trade anything with the Canadian dollar. It's just my little thing. I don't trade Canadian dollar, but I'm going to do it today. I'm going to analyze it today for you. All right, so for a bullish idea, we anticipate price going up. So we buy the ceiling, right? Because there's the floor and there's the ceiling, right? Support and resistance. So when the market is trending up, as we see is the case here, this is definitely an upward trending market. We buy the ceiling, right? Because the past ceiling is going to be the present floor. So just on a quick glance, that's a ceiling because it came up here, it got knocked down, then it broke through. So it could come and test here, and now the ceiling here becomes the floor here. But that's really close. So let me go down further. That's another ceiling. It hit here, came down, broke through, hit this ceiling, came down, broke through. Okay. Let's look at it on the hour. On the hour, let's hit that. That's another ceiling. All right. And we look for the entry on the 5-minute. So looking at this, I would look to enter. And because we have this middle line here, though this is the level I look at, I think it could come down a little bit. So I'm going to say 960 or lower for a buy. So now, where are we going to enter this trade? We're going to enter it in pocket option. So,
Not at all.
What was that? Put you on mute. We're going to enter this on pocket option. So I just did the analysis on TradingView. TradingView is a free site. There is a paid version, but it's free to sign up. You can sign up using your Google credentials. Most people have a Google account, so you just use that and you can just log into TradingView. So to execute the trade, you're actually going to need a binary options broker. I'm not endorsing pocket option. I'm just going to show you how to set up a demo account with pocket option because it's free to get a demo from pocket option. So I'm just going to use this. So let's go demo. Actually, I need to show you how to create the account in the first case. Let's log out. All right. So when you go to pocketoption.com, it's going to look like this. Let me copy, drop it in the chat. There we go. All right. So you're going to have this lovely island here when you log in. And well, when you go to the site. And now to create an account, you can either use Facebook, Google credentials, or use your email and create your own password. So anybody who thinks they may want to make this their real account that they use their real money in, I'd suggest just using your email and creating your own password as opposed to using Facebook or Google, because it's your money, right? So you come up with your own credentials for that. But whatever you decide to do, the registration, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and log in because I already have the account. I'm not a robot. Traffic lights. 1, 2, 3. Is that it? Verify. Perfect. Just in case anybody was in doubt. All right. So demo account. Okay. When you log in, you're going to have, wait, you're going to have it on candles, and you should have it on currencies. I mean, on stock, but we're not trading stock. We're trading currencies. So you want to select currencies. The next thing is it's going to be on percentage, going from the highest percentage payout all the way to lowest. Now, I prefer to have it alphabetical, A to Z. That will make it easier for me to find whatever I am trading, right? And click outside. So there are 4 things you listen out for when it comes to a trade. First thing is the currency pair. So I just did the analysis on AUD USD. So we'd select here, and I have it alphabetical. So A's, AUD USD right there. So I select AUD USD, right? I'm going to change it from the candles. I prefer to have it on the line chart, and I'm toggling it to the right to show area, right? So first is the currency pair. Next, it's the time frame. So here to the right, it's on M5. I'd keep it on M5, but I'm going to drop it down to M1 just for quick demo. So currency pair, time, the strike price. So if I think price is going up, then I'm actually going to look to hit this arrow. So the price, say 131, you see it's 0.72131. I'm not going to say the entire thing. I'm just going to call out the last 3, and then we'd be looking for that price or lower. When we want price to go up, we want to get in at the strike price or a lower number. The lower, the better. So, and the 4th thing we know already, we're looking for a bullish idea. We're looking for price to go up. So we'd be hitting this green button with the arrow. See that green arrow appears when I hover over it. So let's just jump into a trade to see how it actually works. So I think price is going up. I'd hit that green button. So now, I'm sorry, guys. I just need the price to stay above this green line for the duration of the trade, right? And price is this blue dot here. It's gonna be constantly moving. I'm sorry, guys. I've been under the weather. I'm sorry. So we just need price to stay above this green line till expiration. And we would get the dollar that I risked along with the 68 cents. So that's $1.68. We just needed to stay above. Our analysis already told us that price is going up, right? So here we are. We're just waiting, waiting, waiting. Oh, I did get that song, the Jeopardy song, but it's okay. I got the Jeopardy song. Why doesn't, oh, I didn't see that thing right there. Okay, so we just cleared that trade. So you hit the trades button. On the close, you see got back the dollar, 68% payout. So we made 68 cents on the dollar. So $1.68. Let's see. Ooh, woohoo. Yes, thank you, Success Manifest. All right. So that's how you take a trade. And on the flip side, if you think price is going down, you'd hit the red button and you just need price to stay below the red line for the duration of the trade to clear that trade, right? And that's pretty much it. All right. So the entry that I said we were waiting on, let's look at 086, not 086. It's moved up a bit. So let's look at 972. So we want price to come down to 972 for us to get in. Okay. So I will type that in. AUD USD 972 or lower bullish momentum. Okay, that's what that will be. So we just need price to come down here. All right. So that was the analysis for price to go up. So I also said USD CAD, right? Okay, so we're gonna look at USD CAD for a bearish idea. Why is this bearish? It's bearish because we're looking at USD CAD where the base is to the right instead. Because USD CAD, it's bearish because the base is to the right and the quote is to the left, right? So the first currency is weaker than the second. So we're looking for bearish momentum. Yes, I'm using the Kenry language. I'm a Kenry student. All right, so then we go to trading view. So now I'm gonna type in USD CAD and where for a bullish idea, we buy the ceiling. For a bearish idea, we sell the floor. So now I want to find the floors that make sense for me on the 15-minute and on the hour. So here's one floor right here. This is really far away. Wow. It's really far away. It had some major move to the downside here. So it has to travel all the way back up. The official zone would be 843, but this middle line here, it's at 778. So I'd say 778 or higher for the south side for USD CAD. I know it looks like it's far, far away. So that's based on one strategy. Let's look on, well, DeLorean doesn't, this is not a good setup because the yellow line is above on the stochastic. So that's a no bueno. Even though we have yellow, red, AGB, the setup is not good. It's curved now. So this is not a good DeLorean setup. You guys understand why, right? Because the stochastic, the two lines have crossed. So now the yellow has crossed up. So that's saying it's overbought, oversold, sorry. So now price is going up, right? But we don't do counter trend trades. We trade with the trend. So even though we see this happening, some people may jump in, like, and just take a quick trade to the upside, but I'm not doing that. But you see how that could happen, right? Let me add that here. So we're looking at this, looking at this, take that off. All right. So yeah, those are the two trade ideas. USD CAD is nowhere near ready right now. It needs to come all the way up, right? I cannot set an alert because I already have one set for AUD JPY. Does anybody want me to go over NADEX really quick? No? Okay. So I'm relying, oh, let's see, I have two messages. Yes, you do. Okay, David. So I'll go over NADEX. All right. So let me log out of this. Oh, wait. How do I? Maybe I just have to exit out. Let's see. Does that work? Okay, perfect. All right. So NADEX, is it logging me in? Okay. I'm going to log into the demo. Okay. So when you log into NADEX, it's going to look like this. It's automatically gonna be on binary options, right? And so we're trading Forex. So you select Forex and they give you a few options of currency pairs. You don't have the whole spectrum. You have AUD JPY, AUD USD, Euro GBP, Euro JPY, Euro USD, GBP JPY, GU, UCAD, USHEF, UJ, and I think this is the US dollar with the peso, the Mexican peso. I think that's what that is. Not trading that, right? So, and the time frames are here. So they give you different time frames and different entry points. So say we were just looking at AUD USD, for example, right? And we know prices going up. Let me see what it's looking like on the daytime. Oh, it's a downtrend on the daytime. Okay, so based on what I've been learning, I would be looking for a bearish idea on this because price is actually trending down. It's trending down on the weekly. It's trending down on the daily. On the 4 hour, I would look for a counter trend up to for it to break for me to get in, right? So once you figure out what direction you're taking the trade in, so I said I'll be taking it going down, then it's like, okay, is it going to go down in the next 22 minutes? Because there's a trade from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. There's one from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's one expiring at 3, at 7 p.m., at 11. So this, you can do much longer trades. But what I like about it is there won't be any fear of, oh, it's going to spike me out or anything like that. And we know that happens with some of these non-US unregulated brokers. A lot of people, they're in the trade and you're in profits and you're so excited you're going to clear, and then right at the last second you're out of it, right? So all of that is avoided here. So say you decide, you analyze the market and you're going to get in based on the 4 hour chart, because I analyze on the weekly, daily, and on the 4 hours where I'm going to take my trade. So I want to look for the time that's closest to 4 hours. And so here we have 3 hours and 21 minutes. The next one is 7 hours. So definitely I'm not going to do that. So then I'll come here and we get into this straight. So this gives us the chart. Once you select it, you have the chart. Just gonna hide the chart really quickly. So now I said price is going down, so I'm looking to sell, right? So for the sell, you want to get into the trade when it's out of the money. What does that mean? I want to get into the trade where it's not in profit. So like here, right? So if I get in here, I'd be risking $23.25 right now to make $86, $87. The price is changing. So that's the profit that I'd be trying to make just by risking 20 something dollars. So that is 650 odd percent payout, right? So that's why you want to definitely learn how to do the analysis on the higher time frame. The educator that taught me about this, Jay Awal, he says that the banks and the other financial institutions, they're the major players. So they're not analyzing the market on the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the hour. They're doing analysis on the weekly, on the daily, right? So whatever the trend is on those higher time frames, that's the real trend. So therefore, that's what you want to follow, right? And don't worry about the other people. So actually, if you get in this trade and it's out of the money, the further out of the money, meaning not in profit you are when you get in, the bigger the payout, right? Actually, the bigger the payout. So down here, you'd be making $97. Here you'd be making 91. The closer you get to where price actually is, it's the less money that you make. But once you do your analysis and in 3 hours, will price be down here? That's the main thing. Okay, David, definitely. That's the main thing. You want to do your analysis and figure out whether price is going to come back down here, right? And if so, the best thing to do is get in the trade while it's out of the money. So you're only risking like 20 bucks to make close to $100, right? And that's a whole lot better than risking $10 to make $6 profit, to make, to get a 60% payout. This is a 600 and odd percent payout. So much better, right? Now, actually, let me show you an analysis that I did last night, right? So I started on the weekly, right? On the weekly, I saw the trend. It's trending upward. It's an upward trend. Can we agree that this is trending upwards? Yes, right? So on the weekly, it was trending up. Then I went down to the daily and I put another upward trending line, trending up still, right? And then for my entry, I go down to the 4-hour to find the counter trend. And I found that, so trending in the opposite direction. And I put the line there. When I entered the trade, when I did the analysis rather, price was in this red candle. It was on this one, the very first red candle that was there. Then I drew out my level of resistance and support. I drew that out. And so it's either two things that could have happened. It could have continued down, or it could have broken out here. Now, I know that price is trending up, so I only wanted to get in if it went to the upside. Now, when it went to this candle, I went to sleep. But I set an alert right here. Let's make that neon yellow and let's make that thick. I set an alert right here so that if and when price broke out of this level of resistance, that ceiling, remember I said we buy the ceiling, so it was a ceiling here, so I want to get in when it's a floor here, and that's why I have this green line, like, hey, if it comes down, and then I'll take it going up. And that's exactly what happened. So I've been in this trade since after 4 this morning. And why I'm still in it is that we observe a 3-candle rule with this, right? So if you analyze the market on the 4-hour, you're in the trade for 3 candles. So 1 candle represents an hour. So 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm in a 12-hour trade. But it's worth it because look at where I am now. I got in here on this green candle and I'm done with this trade at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm anticipating that it will still be up here. So the price that I was supposed to stay above is 81.9. 81.9. 7, 8. Right here. Oh yeah, I put the line here. So this is, I said that price is going to finish above this line by 3 o'clock this evening. And so far, so good. So I started out of the money and I paid like 30 bucks to get in this trade to make more than 100%, more than 200% return on this. I set this alert here just in case it pulls back, because the beauty of NADEX too, you know, is that you can get out early. So say you get into the trade and you're in profit, but then you start to go out of profit, you can actually exit the trade early and secure your profits or minimize your loss. So, with other brokers, I've had people question, oh, what, can I close out now because I'm winning? And the answer is no. Like, you have to wait until that time, the expiration period comes for you to be out of the trade. Here, you can wait, and I'm the goal is for me to wait until it expires at 3, right? But if I see that it starts going in the opposite direction, I know I've set an alarm so that I can get out if need be. So if price pulls all the way back here, I'm getting out because I will still have made a profit if I get out here. Yeah. So that is one of the pluses of the NADEX platform. I'll talk about NADEX because it's US regulated. It's actually the only US regulated broker. And so you definitely will get paid out your money. You won't have to worry about making your money, trying to make a withdrawal and them saying, oh, sorry, we're going to flag you for suspicious activity. That doesn't happen here. You sign up, you have to give your social security or a tax ID, or, one of business ID, whatever. You have to give that because you pay taxes on the money, right? But then it's all gravy. Look at that. Look where it is.
Can I express something right quick?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. The tax ID is if you're going to sign up as a business, which takes longer to get approved and stuff, because I did that and I would have had to go through so much more. And they say it takes like a month or two to get approved. So I just wanted to share that.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes. So you're still waiting?
No, I didn't want to do that because it's too much paperwork they want.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I just used my social and I was signed up in no time. Yeah. But yes. So it was so worth it. Instead of me jumping in a trade, I mean, I still use my other broker, and I took some trades in the when this red candle was doing its thing. I did take some trades here, but I knew that ultimately I was waiting, and I went to sleep thinking that it was not going to happen. I went to bed seriously thinking it's not going to happen. Um, there are a few of them. The person that I watched and learned to do these markups is J.A. Wall. Um, and when I first did the markups, I took a picture of it. I sent it to him on Instagram. I messaged him. I'm like, hey, sorry to bother you. Can you, when you get a chance, could you take a look and let me know if I've got it? And he helped me fine tune it a little bit. And then I sent it to him again. And then when I woke up and by the alarm, like, oh, and I got in the trade, I sent it to him. I tell him, hey, thanks. Because I've been watching him for 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks he's been on the platform. And I was like, wow, it paid off. It paid off. Let me show you. Uh, this guy, I watched his video. On another note, I think Rico was talking about NADEX. Yep. This 6-minute video that he did. Oh, he did 3 of them. Oh, I only saw one. I guess he got on and did more. These 3 videos are talking about NADEX. Wow. You don't have to be a good speller to be an excellent trader. But yes, check out these videos. He was talking about, I saw this one talking about profit and loss. That's the one that's kind of what I was talking about, where you can get out of the trade before the trade closes and take your profits, or you can get out before the trade closes to minimize your loss. So I love that about NADEX actually. But yeah, so I know I showed you on this longer time frame, but NADEX, you can also do 5-minute or 20-minute positions, right? So let's look at the 5-minute. I know most people are into 5-minute trades. So here are the options. Well, as long as there's Euro USD and USD JPY, I guess some people can be satisfied with that. You know, those are the main pairs that are traded. So say you do your analysis and you decide you're gonna look at Euro USD, drop down. Right now, the only you can only buy these. I wonder why. It's far away. Oh. Wow. Oh, okay. So it's on the 4-hour. Let me drop it down to 5 minutes. And you can expand or contract along the side here. Here you can pull it down, you know. You can't get into any of these, but you can get into this one. Oh, okay. Change. Price is changing. Expires in 4 minutes and 51 seconds. So at any point, you can decide to get in. And you're just gonna answer the question, will Euro USD finish higher than 1.1313 at 12 noon? Will it finish higher? Definitely yes, right? So then you'd hit yes. So we're in the trade. So, and look at that, because it's definitely going to finish higher. So you're risking $99.75 to make 25 cents. That's why you want to enter a trade out of profit, out of the money. You want to do your analysis, enter the trade out of the money, so that when you do clear that trade, you're going to make that 500% return, because here the return is minus 1.75%. It's like crazy. But yeah, you can oh yeah, David, you good. You follow my instructions. But yeah, you definitely that's all I'm going to be doing from now that I figured out how to do my analysis. And I just use TradingView to set my alert to come back so I can get in the trade. I'm definitely going to always try to get into out of the money trades. When I get in out of the money, probability of clearing that trade is higher, you know. So yes. Does anybody have any questions? No questions? I didn't even go back. What were we looking at? We were looking at AUD USD. It never did make its way down. Came close to here. That would have been a low risk trade. This never came up. But like I said, it's the holiday time and most people are not trading now. They're vacationing, right? So the market is moving like a slug. We see that's what we see happening here. But yeah, the next thing I want to talk about in closing is having a trading plan. You know, you want to have some kind of plan in place and you work the plan. Much like you do anything else in life, you're not going to just wing it. You want to definitely have a goal, weekly goal, monthly goal, yearly goal. It's like, I think all of us on here want to get to seven figures, but we all know that we're not going to get to seven figures next week. First, you got to get to five figures. That if you start with two figures, because you can open up an account with even $10. Some of the brokers you can open up with $10. Some have no minimum. NADEX doesn't have a minimum to open it up. It used to be $250. Now there is no minimum to open up a NADEX account. So if you're starting out with two figures, first goal would be to get to three figures, right? And then after three figures, four figures, five figures. It's not, oh, I'm going to get to seven figures just like that. So we're going to use a compound calculator to show you how you can make compound interest work for you in an effort to get there. So say you start with three figures, $100, right? And say you decide you want to grow that by 8% every day. And we do that for 60 days, that's 2 months. And for those 2 months, we're not going to pull anything out. We're reinvesting 100% of what we put in. We're not going to include the weekends. How much will that grow to? Let's see, what's this? It'll grow to over $10,000. So that's that five figures, right? It grows $10,025.52. So that's the five figures in 2 months. Now, this is a calculator, so it's perfect math. We are humans. When I entered the pocket option, it did ask, are you a robot? And I said no. So I'm not a robot. So I can't be perfect like that. But even if we're not perfect, if we hit half of that and do $5,000 in 2 months, that's pretty good, right? It's pretty decent. So how does that happen though? Because we know that if we put $100 in the bank, we can definitely expect to go back in 2 months and have less than $100 because we didn't have enough of a minimum balance, right? Exactly, David. It's excellent, to even have 5,000 in 2 months. So Day one, 8% of $100 is $8. So on the first day, you would just need to make $8 and be done trading for the day. Now, I know we're talking investment, and when you think investment, you think high numbers like six figures, seven figures, right? You're not thinking single digits, but don't think of it in terms of the dollar amount. You have to think of it in terms of the percentage that you earn, right? So 8%, it's pretty good. Day two, 8% of $108, $8.64. So 64 cents more. Yay, right? And so on and so forth. Let's scroll down to day 30. Here we have it as $74.54 being 8%. Still 8%, but because of following a plan, over time, 8% looks a little bit different. Now, there are some people who don't even make this amount of money in a day. I mean, there are people who make much more, but there are people who don't make this in a day. So imagine in 30 days, going from making $8 to making over $70 by learning a skill set. And on the last day, 8% is now $750. Pretty sweet, right? And that's how you can go from $100 to over 10,000 in 60 days. Now, 8% is just what I'm using here. As a new person, I don't recommend going for 8%. Go for 4. Go for 2 to 4%. Over time, you can increase the amount that you're trying to make per day. And there are people who are doing way more than 8%. I just showed you that in NADEX, you're making a whole lot more, right? In one trade. But that's after studying, doing great analysis, being patient, learning how to wait for that perfect entry and, perfect execution. But that's going to be it for me for today. Everybody, thank you for getting on. I really didn't know if we would be able to get into any entry anyway, because like I said, market is slow. But thanks for joining me. I'm going to say goodbye to people out in YouTube land. I didn't even open up YouTube on my phone to see if there were any comments. I'm so sorry. If anybody wants to contact me, email me. My info is in the description box on YouTube, alethea502 at gmail.com. But yes, bye.